Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? I figured we would start a little bit early today, just because why not? So this is what I have planned. I'm going to do five gesture drawings, so it's gonna be about 10 minutes, and then we'll do one or two figure drawings. Um, the plan is just to get this done as a warm up, and then I have some actual creative work that I would like to do today. I'm hoping that my plan is I'm going to finish up one thing. Hey, pumpkin pie! I'm gonna finish up like one of my designs, and then I'll post the previous one, and I'll just keep going through that process as I move forward. Um, I do want to get to a point. I know it's going to take some time for me to get there, especially with the holiday season coming, but I do want to get to a point where I'm doing one character per week. Yeah, for right now, but that's okay. Again, I need to do a better job of posting when I'm going to be going live, like prior to. That seemingly does much better with like actually having a crowd of people come in. But I'm really not too concerned about it. People will either watch or not watch, and that's fine. It's not going to stop me from posting. So, without further ado, actually, let me go through my intro. So, for those of you who might be new here, hey Lou, how's it going? My name is Mike. I am an aspiring professional artist, and my dream is to do concept art for a video game developer at some point. So, I like to do YouTube just to kind of show my path along the way, with the hopes that at some point maybe it'll help some people. Also, pumpkin pie, I did turn up the volume for the music just a little bit. Tell me if it works okay. I just noticed when I was rewatching some of my last couple of streams, the music just was like really faint in the background. I wanted to make sure it could be heard and everything. But without further ado, let's get started. So today is going to be a little bit more of a, oops, that's not what I wanted. So these are going to be a bit more dynamic drawings, or gestures I should say. Sorry, I gotta get back into here. Okay, perfect, thank you. Alright, I might not finish this one because I was yammering on for a little bit, but that's okay. And this is literally just, all of this really is just for warm-up and learning purposes. Gesture drawing is really good for helping you figure out which parts of the human body you're really not comfortable with, and also it's really good for the name, right? For getting gestures in and getting like the fluidity of body types and things like that situated for yourself. Yeah, you can't really be a character designer if you have really stiff looking characters all the time, so. Alright. And of course, if you have questions, concerns, anything like that along the way, feel free to shout out. I did not finish that one. That's alright though. Alright. I'm also going a bit quicker than usual, so I probably won't be able to look at the chat too much to start. But once we get to the figure drawing, I'll definitely look at the chat much more. Alright. So one thing I want to try to do a better job of as well is helping to identify where the... Oh, we got a sub. Who was that? Let's see. Oh, I can't see it. No. Ernesto, welcome. I want to identify where the perspective is seemingly coming from. It looks like it's about right there in this image. I can tell that the negative space between the legs is a little bit too far, but I don't think I'm gonna have the time to... Hey, Peter, how's it going, my man? Appreciate you joining. I'm not gonna have the time to correct with only 2 minutes, which is fine. Something to think about and worry about more as we do the figure drawing. Oh, I do have a little bit of time. Just need to take this and pull it this way a bit. I think that's good. Alright. This is such a good sketch by this person. If you're wondering where I got these, a lot of these are from Pinterest. Just go ahead and, when you're looking, just find ones that feel good or interesting for you. I don't recommend that you do super duper like foreshortened poses, kind of like this one, if you are just starting. You want to do more standing poses, and I have plenty of videos on that, plenty of live streams on that as well. With good examples of standing poses, so make sure you check those out. So like this pose, the reason why I'm saying it's not really particularly good is for stuff like this. Like, you can't see that back leg much at all. You might see a little bit of the foot right there, but that's really it. So these are poses for more advanced gesture drawers. And again, not necessarily good for character concept. I've been subbed for a long time, but caught Mike when he was live. Nice! This month is a roller coaster. What you mean, my friend? I would agree. I've had a roller coaster month myself. Oh, and I do apologize. I don't know if this turns it down for y'all or not. But I need to turn down the music a little bit. It's like screaming in my ear. I can't remember what I was getting ready to say. I honestly can't. Oh, I just wanted to apologize for not streaming yesterday like I intended. I know that y'all probably don't really mind too much. But I don't know if I've shared this on the channel before. Oh, okay. But I actually suffer from migraines. So I ended up getting a migraine on like Thursday of last week. And I didn't really recover from it until like last night, actually, where I didn't have like any more pain. And I would still say if somebody were to ask me if I currently still have an active migraine, I think my answer would be yes. My brain still doesn't feel quite right from it, which is just, it sucks, but it happens sometimes. But I'm not in pain anymore, which is the main thing. So when I'm not in pain, I try the best that I can to be sure to do the things I would typically do during my normal day, because if not, it starts to impact mental health too. So Pumpkin Pie, are you asking me what migraines are like? Or are you asking Peter, how is the stress lately? I wouldn't say I'm like, see, I will say this. Um, I feel like I do really poor, like I do a really poor job of like um being able to identify when I'm actually stressed out or not. Um, so I would probably say it's not been more stressful than usual, but I don't know. Maybe it has been, and to be honest with you, I would say probably it has been. Um, and that's definitely an indicator for me to, or not an indicator, a precipitating factor in me getting migraines and things of that nature. Head's a little bit big, just a little bit. Probably there's good. And the other thing that I like to do for, sorry, I'm like jumping all around. But the other thing that I like to do to find good images is also just do a quick Google search on manga panels that are like dynamic. Um, uh, they're not always going to have the perfect like proportions and things like that because all manga artists have their own style and things like that. But you will get good dynamic poses from those. Just want to move this over a bit. Just looking at that negative space between the hand and the head. Nice. Sometimes busy weekends are good and sometimes they are no bueno. Alright, so I'm going to go get rid of that. Yeah, I hear you. My big thing is like I get into these bad routines of like getting caught up in video games and stuff. And I need to not do that. Alright, so let's look at the gestures. I'm actually very happy with almost all of these. Even the first one, I would say the first one I was having a little bit of problems with the proportions and stuff because this closer leg needed to have been, because I think the perspective line for that one was here. This perspective line was definitely down in here. This one's probably around here. And this one, let me think. I'd have to pull this one back up. Maybe here. Maybe there. Or even higher, actually. Because we're looking from below almost. So maybe it's like up here. But yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and go quickly into... I'm going to definitely do one of these, but I might do both. Just depends on how long it's going to take. I'm going to take a quick drink of water too. But yeah, I get into bad habits where I start playing like during my like downtime because maybe I feel stressed or whatever. Instead of drawing, which actually helps de-stress me, I'll like play video games. So this past like I would say like 3 weeks, I've been really playing a lot of video games, and I would like to take a little bit of a break from that and allow myself to do something that will help me feel a little bit better, which is my art. All right, let's get going here with the figure drawing. So we'll get the head. Yeah, I hear you. I do that sometimes too. Let's go maybe here, here, there. And then good for you. Said, I gave up on video games many years ago to focus on drawing, and I'm never going to play again until I'm successful. Good for you. I don't know if I would ever do that, just because video games are something that I use to like socialize with my friends. So I don't think I would ever go that far. What I would like to do is only play at like later at night, whether it's socializing with my wife or just with my friends. So I would like to take that that approach myself, but we'll see. So I'm just trying to make sure I get this angle right. But 1 hour before bed. That might be a good idea. 1 hour before bed, or just at nighttime in general. PSP will make it much easier to play video games. Alright. So when you're doing the figure drawings, it really ends up just being about like... Well, that's good, as long as you feel like it's going to be worth it for you. In life, it's just about doing the things that make you happy, right? The perspective on this one seems to be around in here as well. Oops. Let me do that. Around in here. Maybe... somewhere around here, or maybe even a little higher, somewhere around there. And you can kind of tell just by the overall, maybe even lower actually, the overall like shapes that are being used. Yeah, it might be like here. So you get this, but it looks like it starts to curve down around here. So we'll do this here. Also, I do want to give like news to what I plan on doing. After gestures, or not gestures, the whatchamacallits, bigger drawings feel a little bit easier for me to do, and we get through more a bit quicker. What I would like to move on to is starting to do it like clothing studies, because that's definitely another weak spot for me. I wouldn't say I'm bad at drawing clothes, but oops, in comparison to how well I can draw figures, clothing is definitely a weak spot for me. And then we'll go into other fundamentals like shading and stuff like that. Yes. To draw fingers or figures? I would agree with both. Fingers and figures are both hard. But yeah, I do want to start getting into some clothing stuff. Alright, so it's time to start paying a little bit more attention to where we're placing things and the relationships between the two. So this hip here is, yeah, this needs to go over quite a bit. Needs to be like here. The reason why I did that is because if you look over at our reference, the hip, I could draw a straight line, straight enough. The hip is outside almost of the shoulder, and before what I had was inside, so I had to change that. One thing is that I think that this shoulder's maybe just a bit too far. So I wanted to change that, and now the knee needs to come in too. So I'm going to change that. Sounds good, pumpkin pie. We shall await your return. Some knees there. Which means that this probably needs to go out a little bit more. So let's see, where's this knee? This knee ends up being almost directly underneath the armpit, which I think this is pretty good. They are almost perfectly in line with one another. If anything, I would say, oops, that one's a little bit lower, so I think I can probably make this one a little higher. All right. And then we get this. I'm gonna get that bone that goes down that way. A little bit here. Again, not going for like perfection. It's just mostly like, hey, what are you seeing? And after you draw what you're seeing, what does that show you about one thing I'm seeing already is that I think both knees are too high, so we'll drop them both down about that much. But yeah, it's not about being perfect with your figure drawings. It's about like seeing where, at least my exercise, like some people are doing figure drawings to get perfect observation. My whole goal here is to just better my observation, especially during these streams. Now, if I'm really doing like a study, then yeah, I'll be sure to take some time to like get it 100% correct. Like when we start doing clothing, I'll probably spend quite a bit of time on clothing, just so I can get it like 100% correct, or as correct as I possibly can. It's never going to be 100%. All right, I'm feeling pretty decent about this so far. All right, so we got that going. Not worried too much about fingers and stuff like that. Just want to get the general flipper in. this arm here. So this elbow is slightly lower than the other elbow, which I actually think I captured pretty well. Then it's gonna come in just a bit, and we're gonna get another hand here, down. All right. Hey, Mr. Krabs, how's it going? Oh wow, there's like a squirrel on my windowsill. He's just hanging out. Alrighty. So the last thing that I'll do is I'll add those, and then bloop. I do think that this part needs to probably come out just a bit more. Maybe even this side too. Armpit, yeah, just maybe a slight smidgen more. Alright, so we shall lasso and compare. Okay. Not too bad, Mr. Krabs. Everything's going okay. Alright, so let's see how we did. The feet are not right. Let me see here. And the reason why I already know that is because if you look at the space from here to here, here to here, it's not as, it's too long, right? So I still think it's possible that, here, let me do this. I think it's possible that it's just this little bit here. Oh, Hilda. Yeah, it has been a while. I hope that you're doing well. I remember you. I appreciate you being able to join today. All right. I think that we are in pretty decent shape now. All right, so let's check it out. I think we did pretty well. I don't think it's perfect, but I think we did pretty well. Let's see. You know, if I line up the head, you know, I'm pretty cool with that. So, yeah, the biggest piece here is just the width, which is an easy fix, and I'll show you why that's an easy fix in a second. But overall, I'm cool with this. So only thing I really have to do is retransform and just widen her up a bit. Oh, we got another sub. Let's see, who was this? Pico, maybe? Sorry. Welcome. Alright, so now let's see. Thank you. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I've definitely gotten a little bit less confident as of late, just because I haven't been in as much practice. But yeah, I'm cool with this. Like, I don't mind if it's off because of like I've decided to put more gesture into it or something like that, which is kind of what's happened here. I'm a-okay with that. So we're gonna cancel and put that back over here, and we'll keep that. I think my big thing will be like I need to learn how to render better. But before that, even it's gonna be shading, and I really do need to just take some time to work on faces. Like I really like the way, excuse me, Mark Brunet draws his faces, so I'll probably try to replicate his style to some extent. And then kind of after I have that, I'll probably just keep pushing forward. Maybe add. I really like Art Germ as well. His faces are beautiful. So just starting to like figure out who I really like and try to replicate what they're doing. But really shading and rendering. I don't even know. It's been 30 minutes. Wow. Uh, so let's go ahead and do one more, because why not? And then I will wrap up for today. All right. I have not. Let me look it up real fast, actually, because again, why not? We are in no rush today. I do want to get to some personal art, but Dave. Let's see. Oh yeah, his art's beautiful. World of Warcraft. Oh wow. You know, and I will say this, and this is not like. Hopefully, this doesn't feel like a shot at Dave by any means necessary. His art's beautiful, but technically speaking, it's not that far above what I can currently do, right? Which is again, it's not a shot at him. It's more so me trying to have a little bit more confidence in myself. Um, is it better than what I can do? Absolutely, it's much better still, but it's not like I don't look at his art and say I have no idea how he did this. I look at it and say I could do something similar to this. Like his rendering, I like his rendering, but I like World of Warcraft stuff anyways, so I wouldn't even say it's a humble brag. It's just more so it's more so me trying to come to terms with the fact that I'm not that far away, like, and I've been told this by professionals, so I know it's not untrue, but it's hard sometimes when you have difficulties. Like this piece right here, I can't do right now. Like some of his other stuff, I think that I could do something similar. This one though, nah. This has like a lot of this one right here, there's two things that I know for a fact. I could do something similar to this design, but the two things that I wouldn't be able to consistently do is his rendering and colors. Colors are another thing that I have to get better at. And what I mean by colors isn't just like picking like this is a pretty obvious like color scheme, which is like a red and an like a cooler color, like a cooler purple. Also within there that like steel blue color. You can see it like here. Let me get the color wheel out. Oh, it's right here. I don't know if y'all can't see it, but this is a blue. Right here, I will use the inking brush. Actually, let me do it this way. So he's got that color. This is, I think that this might be a slightly cool purple, but we'll see. Maybe it's a little bit more red than what I'm thinking. No, it goes cooler. So he's got this like cool purple color. And then he has these really, really warm reds and yellows. So like this is a very, very warm color. Right here. And it's all stuff like, these are things that I fundamentally I understand. I'm just not executing them well yet. And that's because I'm not putting in the time to just get the work done. Like I need to put in like, I need to get myself into a habit of putting in a bit more work because my observation skills are far above my actual execution. So yeah, like this is a color scheme that is pretty like basic, but it works really, really well. And the other piece to this is if I were to show you, as you go down, the colors become less saturated, and as you come up, they're more saturated. So yeah. I don't think I'm gonna land, like, I'm not gonna get a Blizzard job. If I can get a job just in general, I think that I can start to like really soar. But I'm not putting in the work. Like I have to put in the work. Stop making excuses and just kind of get stuff done. But yeah, so this is a piece that I would say I can't do something similar to this right now. I can look at it and dissect it and see like, okay, yeah, this is what he did here, this is what he did there. He's using gradients as you go from top to bottom and things like that that are pretty consistent with what happens in a professional setting. He has really cool shape language. This is obviously a, well, maybe not obvious, but to me it looks like a villainous character, and I would say that that feels obvious to me only because of the sharpness of the design. So like he's got, like, if I were to look at his shape language, you have like this, actually let me just borrow that color. You have like this shape that's just repeated throughout. So it's just like a little horn shape. You can see it here, 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 his hair, here, here. So you just keep getting these shapes over and over and over again, which helps with that design. Even the axe to some degree. So like even this has that shape. Yeah, it's just repeated throughout, which is a great shape for a villainous character. So, like, I can go through and I can break stuff down really well, and I can actually give feedback to people really well. But the problem is like, just because I can give feedback doesn't mean I myself can draw to that standard yet. So that's what I have to fix, and that comes with time and actually creating characters, because I'm not doing that to the effectiveness and amount that I should be. Yeah, that is a hard thing, like balance. I know Mark Brunet, he says like the biggest part is to make sure that you're abiding by the rule of thirds even in your design. So he talks about having like 1/3 be like just really big shapes that are kind of open throughout, 1/3 being medium shapes, and then another third being like the very concentrated details. And you want those around the face. So like, for instance, let's go back to this one really fast. So where are most of the details here? Most of the details are, let me do this again. Most of the details are in here. So, and if you look here, like a lot of it is like, well, this one's pointing away, but like if you were to start at the point, you're going towards his face, and even more details in the face. So you have like that shape, this shape that's pointing here. You probably get your best contrast in here. So like a lot of that stuff is just consistent within the design of this character. And then, to be honest with you, where you get probably the second most shape language and stuff is going to be actually his axe, which is like, it's really interesting. I might have, well, maybe not. I mean, this design works really, really well, so I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, he should have done this better. I might have, though, made the axe closer to his head. That way you get all of these shapes, like, in like the same area. Because right now, like, I don't know, I don't think it really bothers the read too much. Like, your read, like, when you look at this character, because of what Dave did with his colors and stuff, and all of, like, the details that are a little bit more fine, you go right to the face every time, without fail, when you first look at this. And he does a really good job, even with the axe. Like, yeah, I would say that it probably has the second most detail, but he does a good job of blocking out some of the like the really high contrast in both saturation and like brightness, and all of that kind of comes right back over here. So those are the things to think about. But like, for instance, this is a generally like, this whole area right here is almost devoid of real detail until you get here. And again, like, that area is really where you want to have the details. And then as you go down, you could see like the areas that were getting shine on them, which would be like in here, like you can see that here. As you go down, they disappear, right? And it goes darker and darker and darker until they're non-existent. So really good design. He's very good at what he does, which is why he's a character designer for Blizzard. Let me erase all of this. Yeah, of course. Again, if only I could, if I could just get my own art to catch up with my eye for stuff, I would be very happy. But again, that only comes with practice. You can tell that I'm a person that I've done a lot of research on what things, and watched a lot of videos and theories and stuff on which things you should and shouldn't do, but I haven't put in the time yet to really capitalize on that knowledge that I have. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I do want to do longer streams at some point in time. But I'm trying to, just because I'm just getting back into doing streams again, I'm trying to make sure I don't like burn myself out. And I also want to make sure streams aren't the only thing that I'm doing, because just like I'm saying, like I'm not putting in enough time for the practice part. And sometimes I get into a habit of, oh, I did a stream this week, I'm fine, like I don't need to create a character, and that's a bad habit, especially if I want to make a career shift. Right. Oh, wow. This ribcage is far too tiny. Alright, so we're gonna get collarbone here, collarbone here. Neck is not centered. Neck needs to be centered. Bloop. Alright. And then we're gonna get shoulder here, shoulder here, there, there. Maybe carve off just a little bit. And I think again that the hips, I'd made the hips a bit too small here. And then yeah, I definitely will do a stream. I want to do something in Discord, but I just want to make sure we have enough people that would be willing to participate. But I want to do something in Discord where I just give feedback to people. So if you're in the Discord, just make sure that you post stuff. I will do a private stream just on there, probably at the end of the month. Maybe this weekend I'll do it. If I have the time. I know I have a party to go to and stuff, but I'll do it soon and give everybody whoever wants to put in some time to post something. I will give you all a little bit of feedback. No, I'm not forcing myself. It's something I want to do. And I want to do like a Halloween stream, but I'll probably do it, I probably will do it, live on YouTube, and I'll jump in with my attire. I have like a cosplay that I'll be doing at KatsuCon this year, that I'm getting together for Halloween as well, just to work out the kinks of the outfit. So we got this, it's gonna come down a bit and then into here, and this a bit wider, I believe. Max, it's okay, buddy. Something woke up my dog from a nap. Something from outside. Alright, let's get this in. Sounds good, sounds good. I mean, I think I'll probably still have time on Sunday. I think the Halloween party is this Saturday, or maybe it's even Friday. I can't remember, to be honest with you. Alright. I can definitely see some small inconsistencies, but again, we could be here all day if I'm just going for absolute perfection, which I'm not. One thing I do want to change is this hand is not in the correct spot. It needs to go up to probably the wrist is like around here. So that will there, and and again, it looks like I don't have the right, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter all that much because the legs are cut off. Alright, so let's see. He does. Max loves attention, and he always wants my attention, which is fine. That's what we get him for, right? To show us love. But he's fine. He's just barking because he heard something outside. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, the reason why we can't. Oh, snap. I made a grave error. Alright, so what I accidentally did was I put this on the layer with that concept art that we had. So we're going to, oops, what am I doing? We're going to do this, and going to go here. We're going to erase this away. And then we're going to take this, merge, and now we'll be good to go. Alright, so let's see what we got. Oh boy. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I know. Welcome, everybody. This is pretty good. I mean, the only real thing that I would need to do is just make it a bit bigger, but that's like a peanuts problem. It's not a big problem at all. Yeah, I'm cool with this. I mean, again, not perfect. The one thing I will edit right now, though, and I noticed it before I shot it over, is, oops, I do need to make this go out a bit further, because in comparison, you can see this comes basically to there, and what I had before, if you look, it's not quite there. Hey, Danny. So I'm gonna pull this out to about here, which seems crazy, but I think the main problem here is actually that this needs to come out more. So now I can go in, erase a little bit, and I think this can even come in like that, and that kind of feels a bit better. I think it needs to come down. And this as well. So we're gonna get the ribs, but there's a muscle there. But yeah, overall, pretty happy with this. I'll have to... Oh, do you know TV show by any chance been eyeing her anatomy, and free art streams really helped me improve in colors as well as line art. You guys should check them out. Alright, I'll check it out real fast. This will be the last thing that we do. I do want to get to... doing some of my own stuff. Ooh. I can see why you like this artist. Valorant. Thank you. So I'll pull this up. Where did that go? Oh, this is tiny. So this is, I don't know how to, TV Choi, maybe? It's their art. Very beautiful. And let me see if I can find, Oh yeah, I've seen this one before, I'm pretty sure. Again, another piece by them. And then we'll look up. I think I've heard of this artist before, Ben. Huh. Let me see here. I might have heard of this person. Have not seen his art before. Or maybe I have, huh? It looks like vaguely familiar. Now this is a super duper stylized type of drawing style, but let me see if I can find one. But super good. Where do I know this name from? I know this name from somewhere. Really, it's gonna make me save as. It's so annoying. Oh, never mind. I can't do it like that. It might be Proko. I mean, I can't, unfortunately, there's not like an, well, actually, that's not true. Let me just go to Google. Google Images. Let me see if I can find. Copy image. I actually prefer the other person's art, TB Choi. Personally, but this is still very beautiful. So I will do this and zoom in. Yeah, this is beautiful art. A really interesting way of doing like fingers, just these like flat rectangular prisms. So this is somebody that, like, yes, I would agree. Line art is phenomenal over here. It's great. Really nice. Like, line art is really about figuring out which areas you need to, like, darken up and which areas you need to make light, and that's really understanding of shading, the fundamentals of shading. I was going to talk a little bit about character design again, and like the different pieces that I really enjoy. Just like, for instance, the simplification of this ear is really cool. Like, just the, I can't remember what this piece of the ear right here is called, but just like one big piece and then it's flat in the inside and then one round piece, and that's it. I love that, and it works really well. But this, I will say, this is the kind of, this artist right here, if you're looking at something other than, for instance, like just colors or line art, this is somebody that you would try to copy from, and you wouldn't learn much as far as like anatomy and just specific things like how to draw clothing. And that's because he's got a very stylized way of doing it, and unless you really know what you're looking at, it would be extraordinarily hard for you to like take as much as you probably would like. Again, I'm not saying that his art is not phenomenal, because it is. It's beautiful. Like, again, if you just look at, like, let's just look at the color theory that's happening right here. So you get this blue right here. Oops. Let's go here. Get this blue. And then you get pink. In different shades. This is a very saturated pink right here. And I'll show you where I pulled this from in just a second. Alright, see you later, Peter. So this is coming from right here. And then you also get this pink right here, which is a much paler version of the pink that we just pulled from. And those are complementary colors. It's a very, very easy color scheme, right? And then I can't tell if this is just a blue or if it's a slight green tint. Yeah, it's a teal. So this is like the third color that you get. So this is like a split complementary scheme using both yellow, red, and blue. Yeah, you also get that up here, that orange color. Yep. And it's really just like color theory, like, I don't know. I suck at colors still. It's something I really have to work hard on to like understand a bit better. But it's just as simple as this: balancing cools and warm colors, right? And as long as you do that to some extent, and you'll typically get it right. But really, you get this. I think that personally, when I'm looking at this, I really see this pink and blue. That's the majority of the character's concept here. And then you do get this orange color right here. That's like super. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. So you get that, and then you get like this slightly less. It's super saturated, but slightly lighter orange color over here. But you get mostly these pinks and these blues for a majority of this character's like design, and you get these spatterings of warmer colors, and again, really designed to make you look at the parts that matter, which is this character's face. But yeah, it's very, very 3D, and that's because you get this. I wish y'all could see my my color wheel, but you start here and you get a very light blue, for instance, and then it goes. It's shading like a ball, shading like a ball, shading like a ball, and it's darker here, and then you get this rim light over here, which is almost as dark as, or almost as bright as the highlights. And then the same here. Like, this is just shaded like a ball, except for it goes from blue to almost red. It's crazy. But yeah. Yeah, what he does is he starts with, and I've seen a lot of professionals do this. You start with a line art, and then over time, like, you would save your line art to a different layer, and then you use your original line art layer, and then you start to put color on top of it, and over time your color just absorbs the line art and just kind of gets rid of it. But you can see again, like, and this will be like the last thing because I'll stay here forever. I love doing this kind of stuff. But for instance, right in here, you can see that he's got this very dark color, and look, it's not a coincidence that the darkest colors again happen right here. They happen up here, and you can see in his line art, it's all the same. Yep. Really great work. Really, really great. So I appreciate you, Hilda, for jumping on and kind of talking about them. It's not really. I would never, to be honest with you, Pumpkin Pie, I would never look at his drawings and say, or paintings and say that they're like semi-realistic. I guess maybe. It's hard. I guess everybody has like different thoughts about semi-realism. I would say that his style fits more in with like almost like a Pixar. Like, it's that kind of like semi-realistic versus like I don't know, like Sony, for instance, the Spider-Man stuff, and I think he might have, I don't know if he actually worked on Spider-Man, but like it's just slightly different. I don't know how to explain it. Yes, his, like I said, his line art, I think he starts with this here and then he goes to this, and the way that artists do that is you start off with a line art that's either rough like this one is, or like somewhat finalized, and then you work towards getting rid of it with your colors. So this style, I love this actually. Like TB Choi's art style, this is beautiful to me. I wish that I wish I could easily adapt to, like, this is what I would call semi-realistic. The only real parts that aren't necessarily realistic in this, probably the eyes. The eyes are a bit big, and then obviously the eyebrows as well. But then you go from this to almost anime like, but so much, like, I love this. This one down here is like, this is a phenomenal painting to me. It's just so much like emotion and storytelling just in this little bit. Like, oh, what's she looking at? Like, what's she been looking through? It's been a long time that she's been here kind of searching through this computer because of all the food and stuff, or maybe she's been waiting on some good news and had her food on the burner or whatever and took it off to see what it said and then dropped it in excitement. There's so much. Yes, this is great. I really appreciate you pointing these two artists out to me. But yeah, so this is our work for today. And yeah, I agree. If you want to come in, and if people like seeing me break this stuff down, I definitely will. I just feel weird doing it because I'm not a professional. So it's like, who are you to be breaking down a professional's art style or something like that? But I understand the concepts. I'm just not quite there yet myself. So, but yeah, I am going to wrap up there. This ended up being longer than I thought it would, in a good way. But I'll wrap up here. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. Hilda, thank you for the recommendations. That was awesome. It was really cool to see this. And yeah, I'll probably stream again probably this weekend. I would say Sunday. Sunday morning will probably be when I stream. And that'll probably be my Halloween stream. So you'll see me in my costume. That's also going to be my cosplay for when I go to Katsucon this year. And yeah, other than that, though, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me and giving me some feedback and talking with me and stuff like that. It was great. And I will catch you on the stream on Sunday if you decide to join. Wait, I thought you were pretending being a beginner. No, I am not a pro. Not at all. I wish I was. It would be great. I know that you're kidding, but that would be great. I would love to live that life. At some point, though. We'll get there. We'll get there. It was great talking with y'all. I love all of you, and I hope that you have a phenomenal week. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.